places.
A Sinton man is trying to send a message to the community about San Patricio County Sheriff Leroy Moody.
Right, that man lives, so happens, in an old movie theater, and he's now using the marquee of that theater to display an expletive-filled message. Our Mike DeSilva was in Sinton today to investigate that for us. Mike?
That's right, 61-year-old George Sosa put up the sign to let people know just what the sheriff said to him. This obviously gets a lot of people's attention.
I would hope so. I hope it goes national, international. I hope he loses his job.
This is the sign located on Sinton Street in Sinton. You can't miss it if you're driving through town. Mr. Sosa says he has been living in this theater for the past 3 years. It was on April 17th that he had an exchange with Sheriff Leroy Moody at the local La Taqueria just a few streets away. Sheriff Moody says he was upset with Mr. Sosa because he felt he wasn't dressed appropriately for eating at the taqueria. This is how Sheriff Moody recounted that exchange.
He said, there was a police car last night that was coming by the funeral home and coming around there by the flag, the Jackson Square, what we call it. He said, they didn't have any lights on. He said, what were they doing? And I said, well, I don't know, George, but it wasn't none of your business, whatever it was. I said, you know, why don't you just pack your move to Dallas? And that's just the way I said it.
Sheriff Moody says he believes that Mr. Sosa is violating a city ordinance by living in the theater, but the sheriff also says he's not going to be pressing any charges. He also says this is America and people have the right to free speech and the right to express themselves, so he's not going to try and make him move. The police chief says he's asked his city attorney and city secretary to look into whether Mr. Sosa is violating any city ordinances with the sign and by living in the theater. Joan, Katya.
I guess it's not everyone. They can claim to have a marquee in front of their wherever they live.
Not every day you see that.
So-called, all right.
Mike, thank you. Still